Yeah, we are recording and we are live, and there's already people in here. If you're not on time, you're late. Or if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. This is what Sue Sharp taught me. She taught me well. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy May Day. It's gonna be May. And I am really excited to see your face, Tess, and other people. But I am going to turn your face off because I love you, but I don't want you to feel like you can have your lunch or whatever else you want to do today. Thrilled to be here with all y'all today. It is going to be an action-packed hour, okay? Because y'all are here to learn why some wineries are winning online and how you can do that too. I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes before I get like started since it's 101 and y'all are the early birds. So I'm going to get us warmed up with a warm-up question. Drop it in the chat and tell me if you had to choose one karaoke song on the spot to knock out of the park, what would it be? Tell me your go-to karaoke song. And if your answer is I don't do karaoke, imagine that Susan D. Mattei and I were hosting a karaoke party at the Direct to Consumer Wine Symposium, which is a dream of mine. And then we just forced you up on stage. Like, what would you sing? I'll tell you mine. My go-to karaoke song is Let's Hear It for the Boy. Let's hear it for the boy from Footloose. It's a classic. And no, I'm going with Taylor Swift Love Story. Okay, and you know what? There are some karaoke songs, Christina, that maybe this is one of them. I've never chosen it, but they're almost like cheating at karaoke because everyone else in the audience starts singing along with you. And so then they can't even hear your voice. All right. And I see something country. Yeah, like Before He Cheats is a great example of a karaoke song where you don't even have to do the singing. All right, everybody. It's now that we've warmed up with our karaoke song of choice, we're going to get into the content. What you're really here for is not my vocals, it's the knowledge, it's the know-how. So today I'm going to share what's working and a few things that are not working in winery email marketing so that you can start getting more wine sales without spitting out, without giving into tech overwhelm or shouting into the inbox. So here is what we're going to cover in the next 45 minutes or so. We'll start by a quick reminder about why email is queen. We're going to talk about what wineries are getting wrong right now, the 5 things that winning wineries are doing. We'll open things up for an opportunity to work with the email mavens in our online course, Press Send, and I will leave lots of time at the end for your questions. Now, I saw this meme last fall and it made me LOL, so I'm putting it in my deck today. I want to just tell you, it is my goal for you to leave this training with action steps you can take in the next week that will help your winery sell more wine online, okay? But we are going to close today's training with an invitation to join our only live cohort of our online course, Press Send, Email Marketing Mastery for Wineries. I will spend a little bit of time telling you what's in that course. Everything we cover in this training is going to give you what you need to get started. And if you want more support, you want to leapfrog some of the tech hurdles or the creative, our email marketing course is designed to help you do just that, okay? I pinky swear the whole thing is not a sales pitch. This is my pinky. I would give you this pinky, but I have an owie on my finger. All right, let's move on. If you have not met me before, my name is Erica Walter. I have been creating and sending email marketing campaigns for wineries for almost 2 decades, nearly half my life. I love doing this work. I love creating effective email marketing strategies for wine brands and seeing them win. But what I found over the course of the last several years is in starting my own business is that I really love teaching winery in-house marketers and winery owners how to do it effectively themselves. So you're going to get some teaching today in this presentation. Now, I want to get the lay of the land and also make sure you're paying attention. So I'm going to pull you really quickly. What are the elements of your email marketing program? This will just give me an idea of what I'm working with here and like who to speak to differently potentially, okay? So Are you A, consistently sending marketing emails? Are you B, you have your marketing email calendar plugged in and you're sending some customer journeys? Are you C, marketing emails, robust customer journeys, and optimized transactional emails? Or D, all of the above, none of the above. D, none of the above. I'm guessing in yesterday's masterclass, one person was a D, and I was like, good girl, way to be brave. But feel free to drop it in the chat while I take a sip of my lukewarm cold brew. It is no longer cold. I forgot about it. It was behind my computer. A with a little bit of B, C equals goals, lol. I mean, for all of us, okay? Christina is B, Michelle is C. Or, I mean, listen, I don't need to call everybody out, but we got a mix. We got some A's. We got A, B, C. It's easy as one, two, three. Listen, no matter which one you said, and even if you were a D and you didn't want to say it, I have something for you today. Okay, so here is why email is queen. Number one, bullet point number one, it is still the marketing channel that delivers the highest and more directly attributable ROI. You can be all up in your social medias and jamming on some paid search, and you could be playing around with some meta, but at the end of the day, the return on investment with email marketing is astounding still. Now, social media is rented space. Email marketing, your email list, I believe, is your number one, well, number two, second to your wine, your number two owned asset. You could change your CRM, your point of sale. You could have been on Wine Direct and you got to change to Commerce 7. Do you know what you get to take with you? Your product and your customer list. And if your social media account gets hacked or whatever, then you've lost all that. So email is an asset and we need to treat it as such. But it's not just about sending more emails. Like the way that I'm going to teach you to make more money on with your email campaigns is not just by ramping up your cadence. It's about sending smarter, and we're going to unpack some of those things for you today. And here's the biggest one for me is that when it's executed effectively, email isn't just a revenue channel. Email becomes a conversation point, a connection with your customers. It extends your brand into their world on a consistent basis in a way that adds value to their life, whether they're opening up a bottle of your delicious Pinot Noir or simply reading your pairing recipes or your gardening tips. So this is why email still wins. It's got ROI going for it, but at the end of the day, it really is about the H to H, human to human connection. And we're going to talk about why that element is so crucial for the wineries that are winning. So here is what wineries are getting wrong. We're going to do some womp womps. So first and foremost, what most wineries are getting wrong is that their editorial calendar is basically promotion after promotion, if they have an editorial calendar at all. Sometimes the only emails they're sending are promotional because they're like, well, we're going to miss our numbers for this month unless we roll out a 25% off sale. So this promo only mindset is killing winery email performance, and it's kind of killing your customer engagement. So promo only mindset is something we're going to move away from in our winery email marketing strategies. And that's what bullet point number two is all about, right? There's no automation game. Wineries are sending these batch and blast emails kind of as an afterthought or just one after the other to sell their product and not thinking about the customer journey and how email can support a subscriber from going from, a pop-up on their website all the way to their first visit or their first online purchase. And then all of a sudden becoming a wine club member and. So automating some of your customer journey not only frees up your bandwidth and your space to do other emails better or to do the things that really light you up in your role. Automated emails also help every other email in your ecosystem, your promotional emails, etc. It helps them perform better. And I've got a case study later that I'll unpack for you that displays just how much. The third thing wineries are getting wrong is that they are not growing their email list. Point number one, promo only mindset. After a while, if you're bashing someone over the head with a discount every single time you send an email campaign, your list is going to tune out. And then they're going to stop engaging with your email And then eventually they're going to either unsubscribe or they're going to not be getting your emails in their primary inbox. List decay is real. And so if we're not prioritizing other activities to counterbalance that and adjusting our strategies to minimize that list decay, we're basically, as my buddy Michael Bourne from Five Forests says, we're squeezing blood from the stone. Such a graphic analogy, but we really are, right? We're just asking the same group of customers to do the heavy lifting for us instead of nurturing our subscribers, growing our email list with the right kinds of customers, and then keeping them on our list for a long time. So list decay is another thing that wineries are just getting wrong. In fact, I'm going to give you one more story really quickly. The average email list churns at about 30% over the course of the year. So if you have 10,000 subscribers, by the end of this time, by May 1st, May of 2026, your email list is going to be 7,000 subscribers if you do nothing to counterbalance or grow your list to compensate for that loss. So I do this thing called an audit and assessment. Wineries pay me to come in and I look at the last 6 months of their performance and I'll give them an assessment of list growth opportunities, audit their email campaign creative, their automations, make some recommendations and roadmap for like what would be the best thing to focus on first. And almost all the time when I get in and look at their email list engagement, the percentage of email subscribers that have just stopped engaging with their emails is roughly 30%. So I'm seeing this time and time again, just in real life winery examples. And so if we're not actively looking at that number and managing those subscribers, we are hurting our performance. Okay. It's always like sticker shock when people are like, what? That many people are not engaged. I'm just telling you, if you haven't looked, it's worth an effort. Okay. And number 4 thing that wineries are getting wrong is they're just giving in to overwhelm. And listen, right now, that's pretty easy to do. We're encountering interesting times for selling wine online. If you're new to email marketing, or even if you're not new to email marketing, but you're feeling the pressure of email as a channel, maybe compensating for other areas of our business that are down, that can feel very heavy and make it challenging for us to take decisive action. If you don't send emails consistently, then the overwhelm might be just getting in and realizing you still don't remember how to, place the image the way you wanted to, or you didn't ever figure out that conditional content that you wanted to display or whatever. And so you just throw your hands up and say, forget it. And the other way that overwhelm shows up for winery marketers is that when we send an email, we realize we've got so much to say because we've taken a hot second. And so rather than be intentional about what's the most important thing for my customer to know right now, we try to jam every single message that we got a tasting room update. We got a wine club release party next weekend, a Memorial Day sale, and remember to pick up your shipment. Like all of a sudden your email is like 16 messages in one. So that overwhelm is translating to your customers because they don't know what it is they're supposed to do with your marketing email. So if any of these hit for you, I was just like, before I move on to the things that wineries are getting right, I want you to just think which of these things, you don't have to put it in the chat, although, maybe make a note, like what's the one that hurts the most or the sting that might feel like I feel seen. And just like process that, right? Because I'm going to give you some solutions, right? The good news is the next part of this training is how to overcome these mistakes. I'm also going to give you very specific action items that you can take this week to help you optimize and create the foundations of a successful email marketing program. Now, I want to just get personal with you for a second. When I set my goals for this year, there's like a mix of them, right? There's like personal goals and professional goals. But when I set my goals for the business, the Email Mavens business this year, one of my goals is that every Email Mavens total package client and every press send student that I work with generates 6 figures or more in online sales. And so you just need to know, I believe in my bones that every winery is capable of moving that much product on the internet. I work with a winery that has a subscriber list of less than 5,000 that cracked six figures in online sales last year. So I know that it is possible for every winery, and I'm just putting it out there. I want you to have those results as well. Okay. Let's move on to the 5 things winning wineries are doing, because I know that we spent a little bit of time talking about problems. I got 99 problems, but email marketing is not going to be one of them. The wineries that are winning have automated systems doing a lot of the heavy lifting. We're talking list growth. This is happening on autopilot in every single channel, nurturing new subscribers from their first inbox impression, all the way to replenishing your cellar with the good stuff on autopilot, onboarding your new wine club members the right way so that they can spend outside of their allocations, they can utilize their benefits, they bring other people into the fold, and they stay with you longer. These wineries even handle those dead weight people I was talking about earlier in today's presentation, dormant subscribers. They handle that process with respect and proactively to keep their lists squeaky clean. Now, here's the thing about automated emails. There are tons of kind of like blanket stats and like flashy kind of metrics I could throw out here on why automated emails are the jam, right? They outperform traditional promotional emails by a significant amount. But the number that I'm looking at really actively with the wineries I work with one-on-one is revenue per recipient, because this stat doesn't lie. And this number, it doesn't matter if you sell a $50 bottle of wine or a $500 bottle of wine. When you manage this number, you're going to be able to win. So I'm going to give you a quick case study about welcome emails. Now, welcome emails, I could talk about this all day long, is the most important email your winery sends. And the reason we love them is that they have 4 times the open rate and 5 times the click rate of your promotional emails. We work with one of our total package winery clients to revamp their welcome series in 2023. And over the course of the last year and some change, this welcome campaign has between right now, as of like the last calendar rolling year, the email has a $3.43 revenue per recipient compared to like a quarter on your promotional emails. So when you take that, that's like 3,200, I don't even remember. It's like a lot higher percentage wise revenue per recipient than promotional emails. And if you have your welcome email already converting subscribers to paying customers, then the work to get them to buy again is so much easier. If you don't convert at the beginning and from that prospect stage, you end up with a lot of like lurkers on your email list costing you money and not spending theirs. Now, this is the one that I'm excited about because it also is generating a handful of new wine club sign up memberships every single month. So it's making money and it's enrolling customers in club. So I actually, over the weekend, Andrew Campus from C7, Commerce 7, reached out to me to ask for some like case studies. So I actually re-looked at this data and found that of the like 10,000 people who received this welcome email over the course of however long, 8,500 of them have gone on to place a purchase. So even though not every single one of them bought because of the welcome email, 85% of them have become buyers since going through this onboarding series. And it also has a 6% conversion to club membership. So it's a powerhouse email that every winery needs to pay attention to. And what I'm not even putting up on this slide is that these subscribers that go through this programming, they interact with more enthusiasm with all of the marketing emails that we send. So here is your action item, your action step. I promised you jobs to do after today, because as the many hat wearing marketer at your winery, you probably have more than one hat, right? And you have many things to do already. But here is what I want you to do because of what we talked about today. I want you to think about your customer journey: acquisition, nurture, acceptance, like buying the product, buying repeatedly, advocacy, loyalty. think about your customer journey and think of one automated email campaign that you do not currently send on autopilot. Then I want you to make a plan and stick to it to get that pesky automated email launched in the next week. Okay. So it could be your welcome email. If you have a welcome email and you haven't looked at it in a while, you might want to just make that your job for the next week, right? Like take a look, see how it's looking. Is it signed by the wine club manager that left from long ago? How do we connect? That's we're getting. Oh, I got you, girl. Okay, we'll talk about that at the end, but I'll definitely spend some time talking about that. Okay, so make a plan and stick to it. Actually, yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that really quickly. So if you are a Commerce 7 winery and you're using MailChimp to send your marketing emails, you need to get your hot little hands on Digimatic to connect Commerce 7 data to your MailChimp instance. And then all of the magic can happen leveraging tags, customer actions, and some of the data that is connecting within the CRM. So it'll actually pull in products purchased, it'll pull in the date of the last purchase, it'll pull in their club membership. All of that syncs with MailChimp. It is a $50 a month integration. It's the best deal on the freaking internet. I also, if you're like finding you're having stagnant results, I also strongly recommend Klaviyo for email service provider if you're using Commerce 7 and Digimatic. But anyways, get Digimatic. And I have a whole series of emails that will help you take that to the next level. If you don't already, it's called the Digimatic Starters Bootcamp, and I'll follow up with the link to it. But you got this. And there are so many things you can do with that integration. I teach you how to do cart abandonment, and I teach you how to automate your welcome email in the Digimatic Starters Bootcamp for free. So, okay. And if that didn't answer your question and we need to talk about it more, we'll talk about it at the end. Okay. So here's the thing with all of this automation, what you're creating is a flywheel. It's not just promotional emails. It is an entire ecosystem of acquisition, nurture, promotion, rebuying. Once they're buying, lots of times they can become nurtured into your wine club member. Wine club members get their club communications. They introduce their friends to you, and then all of a sudden you're growing this momentum behind email marketing. So it's not just a linear kind of like, here's my calendar, although those are great and many wineries don't have one of those, but it's really about the back end kind of thrumming heartbeat of your business is that you're nurturing customers in their journey with you all the time. Okay. I love it. Oh my gosh. And Denise, you are such a sweetheart. She's giving you the MailChimp add-on is in the apps section of C7. Okay. Here's the thing. Number two. The number two thing that the wineries that are winning are doing, they grow their email list like it's revenue fuel because it is. They are obsessed with tracking, incentivizing, and understanding the levers that get their customers onto their email list. I already told you what wineries are doing wrong, right? Their lists are decaying and they aren't outpacing that churn. The Wise Academy releases their triple score information every year, and this year's was like a dagger to my heart on contact capture. That 18% is the number of customers who are asked for email address in their interactions with wineries. I can't, even with this, it's less than 1 in 5 people. And we're all freaking out about like tasting room traffic is down, but then we're not capitalizing and capturing the opportunity to stay connected when there are actual human beings in our tasting rooms. And that's not the only place you interact with customers. You interact on social media, you interact at offsite events. You obviously have your website to do some of that lifting for you. I went into a winery that I'm doing an assessment for. I went in person and bought wine, and they didn't get my email address. So there are many points of interaction where you can be growing your email list like it's revenue fuel, okay? So you gotta always be list building. Identify where you interact with customers, come up with a plan to get email addresses from customers in those places, and then look at your list growth and say, okay, if I have 10,000 subscribers, by the end of this year, I want that number to be 15,000. And then be tracking it. Where are we getting traction in list growth? Is it at the tasting room? Is it online? Can I pour some additional fuel on the things that are working? How do we tweak what's not working? If it isn't easy to sign up on your website, this is the really low hanging fruit for you. I usually go when I speak at something, I'll go like sign up for every winery that's in attendance. I sign up for all of their lists. Because I want to see how easy it is to do that, first of all. So I'll have like a spreadsheet and it's like, here's the 80 wineries in the room. And like almost all the time, it's like 50% of them, it's either buried in the footer or there isn't a way to opt in for email from the business. So if it's like buried in the footer, if it's hard to find, if it takes you less than 5 seconds to find sign up for email on your website, that is a quick fix that will help tremendously. But here's the other thing. Your team isn't asking because they don't know how to. I remember, Denise is here, so she's heard this story before. I went golfing with a friend of mine who's like semi-retired, but she worked at a larger winery in Walla Walla as like a part-time tasting room member on the weekends. And I was telling her what I do. I said, oh, I do email marketing for wineries as we're golfing. And she's like, oh, I effing hated asking for email. They made us do it. If it's just a box for your tasting room attendant to check, that energy is not very attractive to a customer. She didn't have the tools to understand why this mattered to the business, why it was going to be a good thing for the customer to get emails from the business. And so if your energy is like, oh, I don't like, you're going to get promotions from us now. I'm sorry, as a consumer, more email is not a very attractive prospect. So you need to coach your team to capture email addresses in person, track and incentivize that in-person list growth, but you also need to arm them with more than just want to get my newsletter, because that is not sexy. So the email mavens actually have an entire YouTube channel episode dedicated to why that sucks and is not a great way to go about it, and how to create a more compelling and exciting email program value statement. I came up with it. It's not a real thing. I came up with it. But basically, this is like a mini mission statement for being on your email list, for what your email program delivers to the subscriber that is unique and special. Because like I said, more email, not that special, but something that aligns with your brand ethos and attracts your ideal customer, pretty freaking special. It could be the story behind the personalities on every single label. It could be the story of the land. It could be that our email program people get access to a monthly recipe from our estate chef that he only releases to email subscribers. Listen, I did the food and wine tasting experience at a Napa winery recently, and I would have liked for one of those recipes to be sent home with me. Okay. So like you have to kind of identify what it is that is unique about you. And we had a great conversation in the chat yesterday about this one. Because someone was like, well, I mean, how do I stand apart when there's so many other people that are similar to me? And it's like, ask your customers. So what do your customers regularly say thank you to you for? That could be a great way to deliver something along those lines into their inbox and capture more email addresses utilizing that as a hook. So this is a little like email program value statement Mad Libs. You can screenshot this if you want. A really simple formula that doesn't require you to do a deep dive or dump your whole brain onto a piece of paper is simply identifying the number one thing of value that your email program delivers, how often you send email, and why that matters to the customer. If you can kind of fill in the blanks with those three things, you will have a pitch that is compelling to your subscribers and will attract the right kinds of people to your list. Once you have it, you put it everywhere. Everywhere you interact with the customer or potential customer. Okay, so number one, we are automating one aspect of the customer journey. And number two, we are growing our lists like it's revenue fuel, because it is. We're 2/5 of the way through the 5 winning things, and I would love a gut check from you. What are you most excited about? Is it automations or is it prioritizing list Growth. Tell me in the chat so I feel like I'm not talking into the void. And it also buys me time to take a sip of this delicious coconut milk cold brew. Are you growing your list or are you automating your success? Tell me, baby. You guys type it. If you were multitasking, come back to me. Come on. Give me some chat. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gimme More is my daughter Marlo's favorite song. She's 6. 6-year old should probably not be singing along to Britney Spears' Gimme More, but she is. Okay, automation, but I'm wondering how people track who gets new email signups for the tasting room. Oh, it's so good. Okay, growing list until we can switch platforms to automate. Yes. Okay. So if you are on the old Wine Direct and switching to Commerce 7 or switching to some other thing, I recently called it the path of least resistance. And I think that could have hurt some feelings. But like, if you don't want to, I mean, invest a bunch of time and energy in automating stuff on Wine Direct, I kind of get it. Grow your list, get a lot of great subscribers, and think about list decay and how you can ensure that you're not bringing dead weight into whatever new system you move to. Denise is working on both bonus pour and the tasting room when they sign up. Just send out a survey to tag interest and automate those replies. Denise, you are a star Mavens on Demand student, making it all happen. Okay, so wondering how people track who gets new email signups from the tasting room. That's such a great call out. So it depends on how you're currently capturing email addresses. If you're doing like a contact card, you could have your like the associate kind of put like, initials. Oh, Tess, I have a drop down for how people found us in tasting room as an option. Great call out. Another thing some of my like Walla Walla people have started doing is like QR codes on like a piece of collateral or on something cute on the and so rather than like filling out a card with their hands and then sloppily writing their handwriting and it's drunk and so that you can't even figure out who it is. For a second I thought that Michelle's question was about like who got the sign up. But like if it's just physical tasting room opt-ins, so you can have it so that like they can scan a QR code and that hosted form where they're opting in from has either like a hidden field that passes through on MailChimp side that identifies them as a tasting room sign up. Um, Oh, you do want to know who got the sign up so you can run a contest to see who gets the most. Love it. So yeah, then it's like if they're doing a contact card referred by or like our host or the host could be the host that's inputting it could just put their names on that card. Or like, if they were hosting the table. Another strategy that my girl Miriam Che taught me was like when you have a group come into the tasting room and there's like one person made the reservation and so there's really like one person out of 4 that's in your system, like checking everyone else in and creating an account for them in C7 with their email address is like one of her kind of strategies. You just basically are like, okay, like this way we're opening up a ticket for you in case you decide to walk out with wine and also we get to stay in touch with you. I thought that was kind of a seamless way to do it. But another strategy that was really fun for me was this the blind tasting strategy. Like the winery was doing a bonus pour that was like a mystery wine. And so they made you fill out a contact form with your guess of what the mystery wine was. You could do something similar and just have each kind of tasting room associate when they bring the mystery pour, have their initials on the card or something. That could be another way to make it really organic, but like you also have a mechanism in place automatically to track who's bringing it. Um, Hopefully you found that helpful and we can dive into more of it at the end when we get into the Q&A because now it's time to talk about the next thing wineries are doing that are winning. They treat their subscribers like VIPs and not ATMs, okay? Because email marketing is about so much more than a big discount. It's about connection. It's an opportunity to extend your story into their home. And if your only tactic is a sale or a discount or a release announcement, or basically just coming and talking about you at them, then you are going to start to notice more list decay and you are going to start to notice that you don't move a whole lot of product unless you're providing a sale. And my slides got out of my slides got out of order, so I'm just going to go back this one. It's about delivering value consistently. So I work with a winery in Paso Robles that has like a gorgeous love story and this like beautiful scene and they have wines that are named after their children and their mentors and there's like So many stories that you get when you're physically there at the tasting room, but that until previously were not available to discover anywhere else. My connection to this brand is forever. Okay. Like I am enamored and will probably never cancel their membership because I know their kids. I've done yoga with the wife. I'm in it with them. But those stories about why they named their sparkling wine after their youngest daughter and why their middle child is their big, bold red blood, like all of that could make someone who is not physically there want to be a part of it. And it doesn't have to be on sale. So here are a couple of things I want you to try to put this into action at your tasting room because treating your email list like VIPs is more than just like being respectful and not sending too much email, right? It's about looking at how you can take anything you have to tell them and make it mean something to them. So here's what I want you to try. This is your little like homework for putting this into action. Erica with the bun is telling you, give this a shot. I want you to go back in your archives of the last 3 months or so and find an email campaign that was about a release or a sale that maybe didn't work the way you had anticipated. And then I want you to think of your favorite customer, like the person that you just love when they walk in the door. They always are so accommodating. They always are like enthusiastic about your wine. They bring their favorite friends that have money too, whatever. But think of your favorite customer. And then I want you to take whatever it was that you were offering and that customer, and I want you to write your email like you're telling that specific customer about what you have to sell them. And notice how the energy and what you say and how you position this opportunity to that customer changes. That energy is what you want to channel every single time you go to create and send a marketing email, even if it's a flashy postcard style, 1 weekend only, shipping included on 6+ bottles blowout, right? That energy of service and just for you, and because I love you, because I know you love our Sauvignon Blanc, that energy is the secret sauce for making not just the marketing emails you send, but your whole entire promotional calendar like go to a whole nother level. So I'm going to give you one more example of this. I work with a total package client that had it was like a site-wide sale, but it was just for VIPs. And we noticed that, our flashy postcard with the pretty pictures of happy, smiling people enjoying the wine on the terrace was like not quite landing in terms of what we would have anticipated the level of opportunity was going to move. So we just took their two DTC sales specialists and wrote emails to a handful of those groups that hadn't engaged yet, like a personal letter, and we sent it from Klaviyo as a plain text letter. And that thing slayed. These two DTC sales associates spent the whole weekend following up. Like some people just clicked through the links and bought, but a lot of people were like, oh, I love hearing from so and so and replying to the email and engaging. And so all of a sudden, this email, going back to the very beginning, it wasn't just the revenue, it was a connection point. It was an opportunity for them to, sell some stuff that was maybe available at end of vintage pricing and sell them new releases that they hadn't noticed coming down the pipeline or whatever else. So the AOV on these orders was much higher than when we had originally sent that kind of batch and blast style email. It re-engaged canceled wine club members. It was a slam dunk. You have this opportunity within you, and I actually want you to commit. You can say it in the chat if you want to. Commit to taking something you've recently sent and reimagining it from the perspective of like, how can I make this mean something special to someone special? Maybe it's identifying a smaller segment, but I want you to really like commit to finding a way to spit shine something you've already sent as something white glove VIP just for you and send that offer again. See if you can't get some extra juice out of your list. Commit to making your customers feel like VIPs. If you don't want to commit to the resend email, you can just still say commit to make me feel good. All right, ready for number 4? I'm going to take another sip. The next thing that wineries that are winning are doing is that they don't just go on their gut. They don't just decide that like the 4 emails this month is too much. They look at the data and they use it to inform their decisions. And when I'm talking about data, I'm not just talking about zero party data, first party data, etc. I'm talking about campaign metrics. You need to know what is working well for your winery. And we track for our total package clients click rate, conversion rate, unsubscribes, and revenue per recipient. We're not looking at open rates anymore because those numbers are fairly, I mean, we do look at them for like A/B testing, but we're not tracking them as a metric that we're going to be like high fives and thumbs up if we're upward trend on open rate. We're really focused on moving the needle on click rates, conversions, doing the thing we want them to do, not unsubscribing, and then the revenue per recipient number, moving those numbers in the positive trajectory kind of way. Those are metrics that indicate customer action. And those are the metrics that matter to us as email marketers. You also need to know what's not working. So I already said we're looking at unsubscribes. If we're seeing those numbers go up, it means we are no longer sending the customer something that aligns with their expectations from us as a brand. And we need to, sometimes they're just jerks and they need to go. And that's part of the deal. But I had 2 unsubscribes from my email this morning. And I was like, well, tears. What are you going to do? Sometimes they're no longer for them. But like, you need to know what's not working. And then you need to do something with what you know. So I recommend, and we do this for our total package clients, and we teach you how to do this in more detail inside of Press Send, but I recommend that you give yourself the gift of a true metrics dive. We call it analyze and optimize for at least every quarter what you did in the previous quarter. So if you haven't already done this for Q1, it's May 1. You can go back and look at January through March email metrics. And again, thinking really specifically about click through, conversions, unsubscribes, and revenue per recipient. And I want you to look and see what worked, what didn't, and then what am I going to do with what I know because of this analysis? All right. So of the 4 mistakes we've covered so far, one of them may hit you harder. We have list growth hitting for some. We're going to talk about automations. Maybe the idea of treating your email list like a VIP and really crafting your promotional calendar to deliver delight and value was the thing that stuck out. Or maybe you haven't been analyzing or looking at your metrics very often to help you make better decisions. But I want you to decide. If all of this feels like too much to bite off in a week, I want you to choose one now. Which of these things are you already doing? Which one are you avoiding? Because maybe it feels messy or it's techy. But the power question I want you to ask yourself is, which one of these actions would make the biggest impact by June? If you committed to one of these things, what would move the needle for your business the most in the next month? Because now I'm going to share the 5th and final thing that wineries that are winning are doing. The wineries that win get help. They get mentorship. They bring in an outside expert to support them. They show up to the wine marketing boot camps that the PRWCA puts on or the Russian River Valley Wine Growers Association hosts for them. They tune into free trainings like the one that you showed up for live today. The wineries that win are not complacent to just keep doing what they've always been doing. They look to other industries. They go out of their way to sharpen their sword, and they get the help that they need to win the inbox and delight their subscribers. And I'm so proud of you for being one of those wineries that showed up today. So I'm going to celebrate you with a big bottle of, what do they call these Jeroboams? I always have to have a prop in my talks. This is a giant bottle of rosé that I need an excuse to drink. I would open this and drink it with you right now, but I have no one to help me finish it. I want to celebrate you for showing up, sticking with me for 45 minutes now, asking your questions, dropping your emojis in the chat, and really engaging with me to show me that you're picking up what I'm putting down. You are ready to make email marketing the powerhouse revenue driver for your winery that it is capable of being. That's right. You should be one of the wineries that are hitting those 6 and 7 figures in online sales. And I also want you to be one of the wineries that are winning at delighting the people who have chosen to give you permission to email them. So now I'm going to segue because we talked about the wineries that win getting help. Would you like the email mavens to help your winery make more money in less time through your winery's email marketing campaigns? Because there are really two paths in front of you today. Number one is that you could keep doing what you've been doing, and maybe email marketing moves because the market shifts, or maybe you get better because of consistent effort, but maybe not as fast as you could. You might be missing out on your winery's true revenue potential. Or you can 100% commit to treating email marketing as a revenue stream for your winery and winning the inbox this year. As I mentioned at the start of today's presentation, I do want to tell you about our email marketing mastery course, Press Send. Enrollment is open through next Wednesday, May 7, and you can visit getpresssend.com to join to see the in-depth of what you get. But I'm going to give you the flying overview right now. I know from earlier we have a Press Send alum in the house. Press Send is everything your winery needs to send emails that make money. In Press Send, you are going to start selling more wine online in 5 weeks or maybe less. You're going to build the email marketing system that we taught you a little bit about today, one that nurtures new subscribers into paying customers and ultimately lifelong fans. I like to call them wine club members. You'll start to send more effective promotional emails and allocation communications, and you're going to do it without having to bang your head against your desk dealing with tech headaches or go out and get an MFA in graphic design. My goal is for every Press Send student to crack that 6-figure number this year, so your winery will be one of them winning with email. Here is a flying overview of what you put into action. You'll build an impeccable sender reputation, beautiful on-brand templates. You're going to make a great first impression in the inbox with a welcome email. You're going to build an ecosystem of automatic emails that go to your customers at the perfect time, craft an editorial calendar of promotional emails that is actually that VIP delight experience and not just sales. And everything that you send your wine club members to keep them engaged is going to be unpacked for you in this course. You're going to finish this 5-week experience with a system installed to increase your results every time you press send. We have named every module of our course to align with the phases of winemaking process. So in module 1, you're going to learn how to grow your list, bring in valuable new contacts, and give them what they need to thrive. In module 2, sorting and crushing, you're going to get the right message to the right person at the right time every time. This is where we're going to dig into the foundations of a truly effective email marketing strategy, from making sure your customers actually get your emails to creating really targeted smaller groups of subscribers to reach out to. This is where you're actually going to make sure you do marketing 101, right message, right person, right time. In module 3, fermentation, you will turn your subscriber into the lifelong customer they were meant to be. You're actually going to get the roadmap and the strategy briefs to create all of the most important triggered and automated email campaigns and journeys that help new subscribers become raving fans almost on autopilot. You're going to turn on or optimize your automatic welcome email. You're going to give your transactional emails a major facelift. You're going to start a few drip campaigns based on your customer journey map and a few other factors. All of this is designed to give you the foundations to start automating more of your success. You're going to start to see your online wine club signups increase. You're going to start getting more online reviews and start recovering abandoned carts and lapsed purchasers on the regular. Module 4 is the one everyone wants to deal with, which is clarification. This is where we actually dig deep into promotional email planning and execution. I know automated emails are like my jam and my favorite thing to talk about. But you're always going to have a calendar of things you have to talk about too. So we go deep on those emails in this course, from creating your calendar to effectively planning your emails, curating the right images and assets, writing words that get your customers to buy. This is going to go beyond just batch and blast. We're going to actually create you a roadmap to get better and smarter every time you press send through A/B testing frameworks that are going to help you enhance your efforts. So I have a lot of fun in the clarification module. And finally, we've dedicated an entire module in Press Send to your club communications and loyalty, from onboarding new members to keeping them for life. Now, the reason we've given this its own module is because these communications need even more white gloves. And because I think a lot of the time we leave a little bit of money on the table from our simple lack of not wanting to like let members remember that they're a member. We're not going to be doing that. Everything in this module is designed to make your next club run your best club run and ensure that your club members are taking full advantage of their benefits with your winery. The program is 5 video training modules that teach you step-by-step how to implement Email Maven's success system with a tech resource library. Plus, Mama loves a bonus pour, so you're going to get live Q&A sessions with me every week in May. Denise was on earlier. I don't know if she's still on, but Denise knows this is where I have the most fun probably, because I love showing up and giving you coaching on how to implement more of what you're doing. We're going to unlock 6 bonus video trainings from a previous Maven's live coaching thing that are going to go deep on email graphic design, A/B testing, strategy, planning, etc. We're going to be bringing in 5 experts from other niches of marketing to do 1-hour masterclasses for your cohort. We will unlock 6 months of access to our Mavens On Demand monthly coaching program for this cohort of Press Send. And we're going to give you swipe files and templates and HTML documents to help you implement what you learn. So when you add all of these things up and what you would pay for me to be with you one-on-one for an hour and all of this stuff, the value of this course is getting close to $29,000. You will only pay $29.97. And you can enroll today by visiting getpresssend.com. I am just going to say really quickly that I don't have a graphic design background, an HTML background. I'm not some sort of special magical, I can do it all person. But I have worked with wineries all over the world to create really powerful email marketing programs that drive these kinds of results. So what I learned over those 20 years, I'm going to teach you in 5 weeks. And hopefully, as you continue to implement what you learn, you're going to benefit from those winning strategies more and more. Plus, you'll have me with you step by step, every step of the way in Press Send, Email Marketing Mastery for Wineries. Now, this is new for this cohort because I'm not going to live launch it again this year. If you enroll before May 7 and pay in full, I'm going to automatically upgrade you to VIP, which unlocks for you a 20-minute website makeover, a 20-minute email template makeover, where my teams are actually going to look at your website, look at your templates, and give you step-by-step and or actually go in and like tweak your marketing emails to turn them into moneymakers for you. In addition, you will get 2 Phone a Maven emergency support calls where if you like broke your automation or you can't figure out how to get Digimatic to do the one thing that you know you need to be able to do to send the replenishment email, I'm going to do that for you as a part of the VIP upgrade. 1 VIP in this cohort will win a chance for a VIP day with me where I'll actually travel to your winery, spend the day with your team, do a bit of an audit and assessment, and if you want, actually interact with your team and train them on list capture right there on site. It's going to be a blast. Okay. That's all I have to say on that topic. I just want to say thank you for learning with us. You came, you gave me 53 minutes of your life so far, and you carved out this hour in your day on purpose because you know that you're probably able to do better when it comes to email marketing. I think you might be realizing there's some low-hanging fruit on the vine, but you're tired of saying, I'll get to it later, or using tech overwhelm or overwhelm as an excuse. And you're ready to take control from now on and put your foot on the email marketing gas pedal to start getting momentum with your online sales efforts because of email. If you are ready to join me at Press Send, you can go to Get Press Send to get started. We have payment plans aplenty to make it so that there are very minimal barriers to entry, including a 12-month payment plan. So you can pay in 12 monthly payments. And if you busted out a calculator, you would see that like there's no like what's the word penalty for paying over time. I really just want you to get in here and join us on this journey. Once you've chosen your payment plan and clicked buy, we're gonna get you logged in, and I'm gonna be waiting there with a glass of bubbles to greet you. There's a welcome video for you to watch, and then those 6 bonus video trainings are already loaded up in the back end for you to start binge watching at your leisure. That's the step by step, and now it's Q&A time, baby. I want to hear from you. What questions do you have about the things that wineries are doing that work well? Do you want to talk really specifically about your tech stack? Do we need to go back to the Digimatic conversation with MailChimp? Or the list growth question? Do you have questions about any of the things that wineries are doing or mistakes that are being made? I am here for it. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, well, you can jet too. That's fine. But if you have questions, I would love to answer them for you. So hit me with your best shot, like Pat Benatar. I will answer some questions I know people usually have while you think about them. Um, okay, so this is one I get a lot, right? Which is like, I don't know how to code an email and I don't have a graphic designer bone in my body. How can I do all of these jobs on my own? And the fact of the matter is, Canva saved my business. When I started my business, I did not have a graphic design background, but I was able to create the right kinds of imagery utilizing assets I already had access to. And in fact, inside of PressSend, we're going to show you how to create effective email campaigns without needing to learn special coding or go get your MFA in graphic design. And for some of your transactional email stuff, we'll actually give you HTML swipe files with step-by-step instructions so that you can actually go step-by-step through, manage the HTML, load them into your backend systems, and optimize those emails without needing to actually code from scratch. Will the bootcamp help us set up C7 and MailChimp with Digimatic? The bootcamp will help you maximize once you've turned on Digimatic. The Digimatic integration will take you less than 5 minutes to turn on. You just go into your MailChimp account and I think get an API key from that back end and then plug it in to the app on the C7 side, or it might be the other way around. But basically, you just have to say, I'm going to pay for this, whatever, it's $50 a month. Enter your credentials for your MailChimp API to connect it, and then it works its magic in the background pretty quickly. So, I mean, you don't need a ton of technical expertise to do it. And Bodhi has done a great job of his documentation showing you what to do. But the Digimatic Starters Boot Camp is 3 video trainings over 3 days that once you turned on Digimatic will help you step by step through segmenting your list appropriately. So I'll teach you how to set up like 3 really crucial, I call them customer journey segments that every winery should be talking to differently. And then welcome email. So actually what your welcome email needs to do and say, and also how to start sending a welcome email because you have Digimatic turned on. And then the third one is cart abandonment. So you'll actually start you'll actually know how to turn on your cart abandonment email from the Digimatic integration, and that, as a trigger from your C7 instance into your MailChimp. So it isn't going to show you how to set up Digimatic. Digimatic setup is very quick, but it's going to give you the foundational things that you need to put into place once you have your CRM and your POS talking to your email service provider. Hopefully that answers that question. And it's totally free. So that's the other thing. I've got a version of it for Klaviyo and I've got a version of it for MailChimp. And you just go to emailmavens.com/Digimatic. And there'll be like an opt-in form where you fill in your email address and your name, and then you select your ESP, and then all of the magic happens from there. You do have to click a double opt-in link. So if you enroll and you push the submit and then you don't notice that there's like another step, which is like look for the click to confirm you want to actually receive this. And then you'll start getting the videos. But Michelle, if you go through that whole process and you still have questions, you email me because I love answering these questions and I want you to make millions of dollars on the internet. Any other questions I can answer? Oh, it's just you and me now, girl. I am here for it. Oh, you too. Thank you so much for giving me your time and attention, for spending an hour with me today, learning with other wineries and learning with me. It is my deepest pleasure to be a steward of your, on maybe a wizard. What would I be? Like a handhold, a Sherpa on your email marketing journey to mastery. And it would be my privilege to be your email marketing teacher and coach inside of Press Send. So just as a reminder, you can head to getpresssend.com to join now. The first 10 wineries to enroll will get an automatic upgrade to VIP status, which unlocks a little bit more access to me and a little bit more one-on-one time. But I would just be so delighted to be your email marketing teacher and coach. So join me now and make this the year you stop sleeping on what email marketing could be for your winery. Talk to you again soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.